today and always maybe, but is to take the things that we do all day long and to be able to expand our consciousness around them. And the things that we do most frequently, not the things that we do every once in a while, because when we do something every once in a while, it's we don't take it for granted, whether it's something that we enjoy or we don't. If we go swimming in the ocean, we haven't done that in a while. We don't take that for granted usually. If we do it every single day, we tend to take things for granted. And when we take it for granted, we don't really have the kind of consciousness or awareness around that activity that we normally would if we were doing something very novel. The idea is to approach the things that we do all the time in our life with a newness, a sense of wonderment, and peel back the layers of that experience in a way that brings us a connectedness to ourselves via our experience, our sensory experience with that particular experience. So I'm going to focus on right now the idea of eating. And when we eat, it's something we do all day long if we have food and if we can eat 3 times a day, 10 times, as much as we want to eat. If we live in the Western world, it's usually not most people aren't lacking for food, maybe nutritious food or maybe food that's, balanced nutrition, but we're not lacking for eating or drinking. But we do it all day long. If you think about the idea of eating, it's there's so many dimensions you can unfold of it. The first one that comes to mind is if we don't eat for a day or two or three or four, we're still alive. We need a drink. But if we don't eat after a week or two, what happens is that we start to feel ourselves distant and pulling away to the point where eventually we we die, but we're pulling away from our life force, pulling away from our body. And so life is really food is actually the thing that combines our body and our souls. It's the thing that actually merges those two, because without it we perish. So it's really an experience that we can appreciate in a way that we know that it's connecting us to life in a physical way and sustaining our bodies. On another level, when we eat, we kind of learn a lot about the idea of nourishment, about like what the food does for us, about the willingness of food that's a natural, let's call it willingness to sustain us. We eat it and it tastes good, it's nutritious, and it doesn't ask for anything in return. It's not like us where we have a conditional thing. So we eat food and it nourishes us. And we don't have to do anything in return for that particular food. We may have to pay for the food, but we could pull it right out of the ground, out of the garden, and just eat it. And we could say to ourselves, could am I willing to do this for someone else? Could I do this for someone else? Would I be able to could I give even this much of my pinky feet for someone else to be able to just give of myself? There's so many lessons that we can learn from the things that we do all day long. That's just an example. But having an intention, a kavanah, when we do things in our day to day, we can treat that as a meditative experience and build on the meditations that we do in this class, in this course. And to not just treat the meditations that we do in this course as limited to the 30 minutes that we're together. The idea is to stitch and to sew merge the experiences that we have in the 30 minutes with what we do in our days, the things that are patterns, the things that we do all the time, which is eating is a phenomenal place to start and end. If we just did that, we would be transformed. And there are many lessons we'll learn about eating together and exploring that. And I think when we do that, we can unfold a certain energy about the food. We call it energy. We call it because it is energy. It's literally energy. We call it kcals, we call it caloric intake. It's literally energy, but we can unfold that energy in a deeper way. So it not only sustains us in our physical level, but on much deeper levels to our essence, to our core, to our spark. So one other thing before we begin our meditation on this subject is ratzon, is our desire. Tapping into our core desire is another element which ties very much into food, because our desire is limitless. We really, if we could fill our desire and say, oh, I don't need anything more. We're not built that way. We always want a little bit more, no matter how tasty the food is, no matter how delicious the food might be. Could be a little bit more, a little bit, this could have just a touch less, a touch more. Those are more on the unconscious level, channeling of our desire. But on the conscious level, when we become aware, we could tap into that limitless desire. And there's a lot of ideas of this in Jewish prayer, and even in the Ashrei, like Poteach et yodecha maspia lechol chai ratzon. It's talking about, there's a mystical element to that. It's not just what it sounds like on the surface. We can pick it apart and analyze that, but we can go deeper with that. So with that, let's begin our meditation by taking a deep breath, conscious breath, a very conscious breath. And taking that in as sustenance. The air is sustaining us, the oxygen, the nitrogen. And exhaling and giving it back. It's going out there to sustain something else, a tree, a plant, another animal. And taking in the next breath consciously, understanding on a very deep level the sustenance. Sustenance. And out. And on the next breath, the intention is we are taking, we are receiving, we need to receive. And on the out breath, the intention is we need to give, we need to offer, we need to give of ourselves, give back. Continue another several conscious in-breaths and out-breaths with those intentions of receiving and giving to yourself. And for one final breath of conscious breathing. And on your exhale, just go back to normal breathing, but this time just watching how it takes care of itself. Process of breathing, how it just unfolds all by itself. And now become conscious of any thoughts that come into your mind and realize that thoughts are also a process that happens unto themselves. But you're aware of this. You are that which is aware of those thoughts. And just think to yourself, who is this? Who am I? I am the watcher of my thoughts at this moment. And just allow yourself to watch your thoughts. Allow them to come and allow them to go, just like your breath, and watch that as a process. Watching our thoughts as a process of coming and going. And bring your attention to your emotion, your the level of emotion, and conjure up happy, being a moment where you were happy and you felt joy in your heart. Notice if you find that this emotion resides anywhere, or maybe it doesn't. Investigate that. Find a particular moment, whether it's enjoying an experience, physical pleasure as food, or just watching something unfold, like a child on a swing set laughing. Just notice how you function better when you're happy. There's a sort of a natural flow in this state where there's an endless supply of energy. And a certain limitless energy in this state. Expansiveness. Feel this expansiveness within yourself. Feel the silence that surrounds this, or the space. When I mean say by silence, it also means the space, the void that surrounds an experience, which is there's the experience and then there's that which surrounds it, which is infinite. We don't need to try to make sense of that. We can use a metaphor that we can all understand, which is a beautiful painting of oil, an oil painting, sits on top of a canvas, a blank canvas, which holds that paint, holds the paint in place. The paint is our experiences, our joy, our sorrows, everything that is our life. But there's the canvas underneath that holds it all. This is the silence, this is the nothingness or the blank, the Ein Sof. Realize there's this canvas that holds us, sustains every emotion, and it even just sustains our awareness. Our cup is empty, but its value is determined by its ability to hold the liquid or things that we put in it. And this is our vessel. This is our vessel, our goof, our body, and even our consciousness. Allow these ideas to unfold in your awareness now and explore that emptiness that holds and contains us. We're going to take our boxes that we've created in our minds from yesterday's meditation and realize that this box we've created is a vessel, an emptiness that we've decided that we're going to put our experiences that we are challenged with, the most challenging experiences and patterns in our life, things that we want so badly but never have been able to get, that desire, that longing seems to take our joy or keeping us from the joy that we want, or even personality traits that we would love to overcome but haven't ever been able to. All these things, that whole category, you decide and know what those things are. We put in this box every day. And we're not getting rid of them, but we're just putting them in a box into that vessel. Open that lid and put them in. As you put them in, you can see as it fills up, and maybe you need to expand that box Maybe that box feels like it's overflowing. Okay. Sometimes you need to expand the vessel. That's good. It's called expanding. Expanding ourselves, expanding our awareness. Expand your box. It's all right. You can hold it. It can hold the weight. It's limitless. This vessel is limitless. And when you're ready, you can close the lid on the box. And even if you want, you can slam the lid shut. You can let it fall down by itself. Place that box in front of you. Your field of awareness. See it in your mind's the screen in front of you, through your eyes. And just see it in front and creating a circle with everybody who's doing this exercise together. Everybody puts their box sitting in a circle. And as the boxes sit there, rest, an enormous source of light illuminates them, and they become golden, and they shine. This light merges any differences between any of the boxes, and they become indistinguishable from one another, as long as the light is there, and it always is. Breathe in this light, breathe in this infinite light. Take it in not only with your breath, but your heart. As you bring it into your heart, you expand and open your heart. Accept and let go. Accept and let go. The breath in, accept. Breath out, let go. When we hold our breath, we cannot take another. So we must let it go in order to breathe again and allow the cycle to continue. Let's take the next few moments, bringing your full awareness and consciousness to the breath cycle of receiving, giving, acceptance, and letting go. saying to yourself in your mind, may I be filled with joy. May my entire being, in essence, be filled with joy. May I be filled with love for the divine spark within me. May I be filled with love for the divine spark within me. May I be filled with gratitude. All that I am and for all that is. Allow yourself to savor this moment if you can this morning, taking time when you eat or drink to go to this place of connecting with your experience and realizing that it's this experience of eating or drinking something that you like, and feel the pleasure of enjoying it. And if you know how to say a blessing over the food, and if you connect with that, then have a special intention about that blessing that you've never had before. And this intention is allowing yourself to watch the internal canvas and the external canvas that the experience sits on. And the canvas, of course, is that metaphor that all of our experiences sit on. But deepen your connection as a meditation to that eating experience. It doesn't take long, but it's just a shift of the way we do that, experience that. Welcome you all back to exactly where we have been the entire time, but that was our 30-minute journey this morning together. I hope these meditations are building off of each other. And if we sat here in silence for 30 minutes every morning for 30 days or 40 days or 60 days, but we've been doing that longer, some of us, it starts to change us, or not change us, unfold us. Let's call it that. And allow ourselves to just continue to unfold. And it doesn't have to happen. I'm not giving you anything magic. I think I'm just giving you myself. But do this for yourself. Take the time as much as you need and want before bed, and let yourself unfold with these experiences and things that I've just kind of offering as tools, and also some of the experiences that we're creating. So enjoy your day, enjoy your Shabbat Shalom, and may there be much peace and harmony and joy in your life and in existence today. And we'll see you on Sunday morning for another session.